Well, hello again and welcome back to Vickie's Country Home. I've been watching a lot of videos about fermenting vegetables and I really want to get into doing a lot of that. I do make kombucha, sourdough is fermented, Brian's beer is a ferment. So I really want to get into doing more of that. But I want to make my own starter. And I've been watching Heidi at Rain Country. If you haven't been to her channel, she is so helpful. She has so much information, so much knowledge, and she presents it in a way that's easy to follow. So I really want to thank her for putting all this out there. So today I'm going to be making my own fruit starters for using to ferment vegetables. And these came off of Heidi's channel, so please go check her out at Rain Country. And it's really a simple process. You take a pint jar and you put some fruit in the bottom, maybe a quarter cup, I don't know, it's just a little bit in the bottom. To that you're going to add, first of all, add the water. And you want to go a little bit above the level of the fruit. And then you're going to take 1 tablespoon of raw organic sugar. You don't want the white processed stuff if you can help it. And she says she doesn't know about honey, so not going to go there. So you put those in the jar, put the lid and ring on it, and shake it up. You want to dissolve the sugar. And basically, the sugar is going to help feed this until the fruit starts to ferment. So, following her instructions, I'm going to do this 2 or 3 times in the first day. And she said a tablespoon of sugar in the first feeding, and then a teaspoon and a little more water the second feeding. And she says it'll take around 3 to 5 days for the ferment to happen and for it to become fizzy and carbonated, and you'll know. So this one is blueberries. So I'm going to do 2 different kinds to see how they both do. Now the other one I have is blackberries. I'm going to do the exact same thing. Add a little more water than you have berries. Tablespoon of sugar. Close it up. Swish it around to dissolve the sugar. So that's all it is for now. Now I'll be coming back again in a few hours. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon now, so I'll probably do this once again today. I might do it right before I go to bed, we'll see. Then tomorrow we're going to do the same thing. Now when you get to the top, obviously you're not going to add any more sugar. Any more water. You'll still feed it with the sugar, and you'll be feeding a tablespoon 1 time a day. So when you get to the top where you really can't add any more water, just feed it with the sugar. And we'll bring you back in a few days and show you what these are like. And then I look forward to fermenting some vegetables. Well, I started these berries as fermentation starter using Rain Country's video and recipe as a guide, and I did that on Friday. So today is Wednesday, and if you can see, the blueberries have a slight fizz. So they're on their way, but they're not ready yet. And I have added, the first day I fed these once more because I started in the afternoon. I gave them a teaspoon for the second feeding of sugar, and then I added a little more water. On day 2, I added a little bit more fruit, so in this case it was blueberry. I added a tablespoon of the sugar and a little more water, and swishing it around throughout the day, every day. So I did that up until, I think it was yesterday, that these pretty much got to the top, so I stopped adding water. But now I will just add sugar unless I'm using it. And then I will top off the water and add more sugar each time and store this in the refrigerator unless I'm using it every day. And so this one's still going, and it's been over the 4 or 5 days that it works for her. But it could be the berries, it could be the condition, the temperatures in my house, who knows. However, this is the blackberry, and I started it the same day. I've done exactly the same thing every day. Now I'm going to do this gently because this thing is really fizzy. But I hope you can see this thing is really fizzy even with just a little bit. And I've had to loosen the top because it is really, in fact, the jar's a little sticky. It's that fermented and that bubbly. So I'm really happy with this. I wanted to mention, I don't think I did this in the first segment when I put these together. Never, ever, ever use tap water when you are fermenting, whether it's sourdough, whether it's starters, no matter what. You don't want tap water. It's got chlorine and who knows what else in it. My water comes from our well, but even that is filtered because there's a lot of stuff in it. So not really bad stuff, it's just not what we want in our drinking water. So we filter all of our water with a very good filter system. And that's what I use. But you can use filtered water, you can use purified water. If you have a spring, that would be wonderful. But don't use any chlorinated water. And you can I don't know if you can tell, it's even dripping out of the jar right now. So today I'm going to start trying this. I'm going to use a little bit of this to make some fermented. I have carrots that overwintered in my garden that I knew there were a few out there, but I think a lot of them were hidden. Something had probably eaten the tops off of them. And I checked them and they weren't woody, so I'm going to use those up and I'm going to ferment those. And because I love it, I'm going to add fresh garlic because I think that's going to go really good, and it's going to use the blackberry starter. So let me get to getting these prepared. Again, according to Rain Country, she does not peel her carrots and most of her vegetables, she says. She washes them really well. So I've done that. I've scrubbed with a vegetable brush to get any dirt or anything that was left on them. So I'm going to cut those up and get to work on making these fermented carrots and ginger. I've got my carrots sliced, and I had one that was kind of a yellow color, and it actually is really sweet. I don't know, it probably got mixed up in the seeds I planted last year, but it's really good. So I'm going to add that to my jars. But now all I'm going to do is I got my clean quart jars, and I'm going to start putting the carrots in. And I'll add a little bit of that yellow carrot. And then I've sliced up some ginger, and I did peel that. So I'm going to put a little bit of that. And I'm just going to kind of layer it. I'm not going to be real exact. And just put some in each jar. There may be a recipe for this on someone. I just decided I like carrots and ginger, and that's what I happen to have. And there's probably a recipe for fermenting them, but I didn't see one right away, so I'm just kind of doing my own thing here. Alright, I've got a little more carrot than I have jars, but that's okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this fermented blackberries that is still fizzing like crazy. And I don't know if you just heard that, but it's kind of like opening a bottle of soda or pop or whatever you call it. And I'm going to put a 1/4 cup in each jar, mostly without fruit, but I don't care if a tiny bit gets in there. Alright, now I'm going to get some water and fill these up. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and top off this starter back up to the top and add more sugar. And then I'll be putting this in the refrigerator to slow it down a little bit because I won't be using it every day. But I'm thinking about trying out something to make bread with maybe some sourdough starter and some of this fermentation starter. I'm going to have to experiment and see how that works. Alright, I'm just going to add the filtered water up to the top. And if these are too full, I may take out the carrots on top because I don't really want them sticking out the top. I think I'm going to do that. But I do want to make sure I get most of the bubbles out. So isn't that pretty? Carrots and ginger. And I can't wait to see how this comes out. Add just a little bit more water. I think I could put one more piece in there. Now I'm going to put the lids and rings on these, and I'm reusing lids. They've been cleaned and there's no reason not to use them. Okay, we're going to shake it up a little because we want to make sure that that starter is all the way throughout. So there we go. 2 quarts of carrots and ginger and my blueberry fermentations. My blackberry fermentation starter. And I'll come back in a few days and kind of let you see how these came out. So thank you for watching, and if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share. God bless, and we will talk again soon.